First thing to tell you about myself, I'm Gloriya Kulkarni. I was a student here with the name of Gloriya was. I'm married, so I'm Kulkarni now, okay? And I worked with Dell for 4 years, and I worked as a trainer with Dell. I was placed at Bangalore, so I worked there. After working with Dell is when I decided to resign and do my MBA. So after 4 years of experience, work experience is when I thought I should do my MBA. And since Belgaum is my hometown, I felt it's better I spend time with my family and do my studies here. That's how I came to IMER, did my MBA full time for 2 years. And then I was working in Belgaum itself as HR manager for 2 years. After that, right now I'm working in Mumbai with a company called NDTS. It's Non-Destructive Testing Solutions. It's in Mumbai, past more than a year. Okay? So that's about me, and I have come here because I would like to interact with you all, since I feel there's some industry, the exposure is lacking. It's not, I don't come from an academics background, so don't think this as a lecture or something. I just want to give you some basics which you all will, nurture later on, which is important for you all. It's not only important for HR people, but it's important for everybody. So when you call yourselves master, right? You all means you have mastered something. You all have mastered it. You all know in and out about it. You all can't just call yourselves MBA with a degree certificate. It means something. You all have mastered it. So when you call yourselves masters, I take around 7 to 10 interviews in a day. People don't know the basics, the MBA people. I take MBA interviews, I take engineers interviews because these are the only 2 people whom we take in our company. There are very less graduates we take, BCom, etc. We usually take MBAs and we take engineers in my company. So there are very few people who know even the basics. It's like 20 interviews, 1 person gets selected after a lot of should we select, should we not select, we are not getting the right person. So he's the best out of the bachawa, kind of. So why is this? Why is this that you all don't know even the basics? I take interviews for marketing, so when people come, the first HR round, of course, it's not the other rounds, the line managers take them themselves. So if I ask them what is marketing, and then they are wondering what is marketing, I tell them I don't want a Philip Kotler's definition. You tell me a logical definition what you feel marketing is all about. But then they sit wondering what is marketing. So why is this? Why can't you make your basics strong? Don't go into the complicated, Zohari window and this and that. No windows will appear when you go to corporates. It's all common sense. Don't think of the big concepts and nobody is going to get fascinated with that. It's common sense and how you apply it. That's it. I ask them what is marketing, and then they look in the sky. And they look. And then they look. And I look at them. And then they smile. And then even I smile. So it's like that. And then I say thank you. Okay? So I don't want this to happen. And especially a place like Belgaum, I do understand that you all are not exposed to a lot of scope which is available in the market. In marketing you have market research, you have media, you can work with Star, you can work with Z, you can work with so many options. In HR there are so many fields, but you all are not aware. You all feel marketing is just that much at sales, it's this. It's huge. It's a huge ocean. In marketing there are so many categories. In HR there are categories. So it's a big scope. So what I felt, since I have seen life in Mumbai, I've seen life in Bangalore, since I've come down now, I thought I can interact with you. One thing I want to tell you all is make your basics strong. Don't let your basics loosen up. What is HR? Know what is HR. What is human resource all about? Know what is marketing is all about if you all want to take up a subject. I ask them basic questions like what's the difference between marketing and sales? Then again they have to look at the sky. Sky is not visible, the ceiling they look at. It's the same story again. So you'll have to make these basic things strong. Don't give definitions from books, but understand and just give a logical definition. Even there are people who are not MBAs who will take your interviews. So they will not expect a bookish definition, neither they will understand. They'll reject you with a bookish definition, probably. Give a definition which is understandable by people. Don't give some high-fun concepts. Okay? So what I want to tell you all is, please, have your basic concepts strong. Your management, whatever is required, have that strong. Once that is strong, then you all can build stories. The foundation is not good, things will not work out. I want a right attitude. I don't want people with a wrong attitude, and when I give feedback, there could be a circumstance where I have to give feedback, or negative feedback probably. I don't want him or her to keep that in mind and next day morning don't smile at me. That thing is not appreciated. I always tell my employees, the first day when they are recruited, their induction is done, I tell them this, that don't have grudge, don't have attitude issues basically. Next, which I tell them is, don't keep grudges. Whatever is there, it's professional. Don't keep grudges. You know, once I give a feedback, next day there are people who don't smile at me. This is not the way. I don't have any dushmani with anyone, right? You have to have the right attitude. And trust me, all the interviews which go on, they are for attitude. We check attitude first, next the skills. I always check the right attitude first. You all must be still thinking this is just a flowery thing which I'm telling you all. No, it's not. It's the fact. I check the attitude first and the required skills. If you say me there's someone who is like first and who has got a real good skills, but I don't find his attitude right, there's another person who has come for interview who has the required skills, of course. The required skills are required. I can't employ a dumb with the right attitude, then he's fit to be a watchman. Right? He can smile, smile, smile even if people shout at him. He's fit to be a watchman. But yes, the basic skills are required. So I told you first, make your basics strong. When your basics are strong, your attitude. First make your attitude proper, make your basics strong. These two are required. So if there's another guy with a right attitude and the required skills, which we can sharpen later, we know, I would select him. Rather than selecting a person. I had a person who had done his MBA from Jamna Lal Bajaj. It's one of the great institutes. Okay? He was rejected. So attitude should be right. He had a lot of attitude as if he has come, I don't know, from some other planet. So attitude should be strong. Even my MD rejected him. So, you know, don't have that. The required skills and the right attitude. Skills we can sharpen. Once you come to the industry, we are there to train you. Your managers are there to train you. You can sharpen it. But have the right attitude. Work hard. You are required to work hard. For the first 2 years, after you finish your MBA, you are required to work really hard. Okay? Don't think of package, guys. Trust me. Don't think of package. You all feel you all have done MBA, so you all need 30,000-40,000. People don't give. Frankly, people don't give. Don't think of package. Think of the right exposure you're getting. Just think of that. First 2 years, it's only learning. Think it's an extended course. It's 2 more years of MBA. Just get the right learning, then package should follow you. You should not run behind it. Package is a byproduct. You work hard, don't bother about the package. The package will follow you. You have to work hard, use your common sense, try to do everything possible. Be alert. What's happening? Okay? That will fetch you results in your future. Alright? So this is what is important. Okay? So don't think you all will get a very good package. Just think of the exposure you're getting. There are lots of fields in HR. There's recruitments, there's generalists. In generalists, there are various fields. There's only people who work only for performance appraisal, which are absolutely very good field, which I'm interested. It's HR analytics, which I like. Okay, there are lots of fields. Recruitment, many people don't enjoy it because it's sourcing of the candidates through Naukri and everything. It's a boring job, which I believe. Okay, interviewing is not boring because you have to understand the person. You're interacting with people. So there are guys who work in my team who source the candidates from Naukri. They come and I interview them. So interviewing is fine, but searching, you know, going to consultancies, finding out CVs, understanding whether it's the right CV or not, that gets a little difficult. Not difficult, but it gets monotonous and then you get irritated kind of. So choose the right fields, don't get stuck only into recruitment. If you're interested in recruitment, go ahead. Good. If you're not interested in recruitment, don't get stuck with that. Understand. Make it a point you'll interact with different people. Go to some companies in Darbham, ask them if I can come every day for 1 hour, just to understand what happens, how things go. Do that. Nobody's going to say no. Even if they say no, it's okay. That's an experience. You have interacted with someone. You have learned how to approach someone. Do that. Go 1 hour to some company once in a week at least to understand what happens in the company. You have to have this basic things, you know, that passion, that dedication, that yes, I am going to do, not only having dreams, but doing it right now. Right now, your career has started. Don't think after 2 years I'll do. Let me enjoy. It's my MBA, my college. You should enjoy. I enjoyed my MBA a lot. What Facebook did was, they understood that a woman conceives between the age of probably 30 to 35 these days. Around 28 to 35, okay? Earlier it was, the age was lesser, but now due to career and everything, girls are like from 28 to 35 they conceive. Now they want these girls to stay for a longer time, you know. So the study which was done with medical research was, a woman can conceive till the age of 35, which is a right age, and you can even conceive it till you're 40, but you'll have to do some medications to increase your fertility, okay? So after, till 35, around it was, think around 20% women conceive, and after 35 it was just 2% women conceive after 35, okay? So there was a medical treatment which would help women to delay their fertility. They are fertile even till the age of 40. So Facebook had this treatment done for their employees who wanted to conceive later. They called medicals, they called doctors, and they increased their fertility till the age of 40, so that they remain with them till the 40 years. Can you imagine? I mean, just can you imagine? This is called out of the box thinking. You know, it was criticized, of course. You're going against nature. It's criticized. I just want to tell you, look at the way people think. What all can they do to really retain people, or what are the strategies people think of? This is what is appreciated. It has lots of critics. This is called as frozen egg, some frozen egg theory, something. It has lots of criticism for Facebook because yes, you're going against nature and you should not do something against nature. But I'm just telling you, look at the things. They try to increase the fertility. So you'll work till 40, then you conceive and then you go. Last year it was very less. But after Modi coming in, it's been increased. Okay, so it's 2084. Conveyance is 1600 per month. This is as per government norms. This is the minimum which is there. Okay, it's not more than that. Because even if you have more, conveyance, say I make it 17, that 100 rupees is taxable. The 1600 is not taxable. So only that much is given. Alright? Special allowances is, again, you want to increase the package, so remaining whatever is there, you can put it as some special allowance or whatever. Okay? Now, you go to the other, the right hand side, there is PF, which is 1008. Okay? This is 12% of your basic. Basic plus DA. Usually basic plus DA, they give one amount. Alright? Then there's professional tax. As he rightly said, it's 200, but for Maharashtra, there's some rule. For Karnataka, there's some rule. I go as per Maharashtra. Okay? So ESIC for this particular person would be 0 because his gross is more than 15,000. Right? Then you can see down, there's PF, which is the employer's contribution, and there's ESIC, which is again employer contribution. This part is employee's contribution. This PF, PT, ESIC. This part goes as employer contribution. So the gross is what the person's salary is. That gets deducted from that person's salary. And then you get net. And this counts to the CTC of the person. It's not like that, guys. Okay, maybe initially when you all are there and it's not a company who really applies statistics or applies quantitative techniques, then maybe yes, you all don't have to deal that much with numbers, but again salary and everything is a calculation which all can't go wrong in appraisals. So there's numbers involved there. So HR has a lot to do with numbers, trust me. And quantitative techniques is used a lot in HR these days. You go to any MNCs, they have lots of predictions they do. How many employees does my organization need for the next year? Is done by statistics, quantitative techniques. How many employees should a department need? They predict it. And how can you predict? अंदाजा लगाना चाहिए क्या? हाँ, इतना होगा, इतना लोग करेंगे. No. There's calculations. There is huge amount of calculations which goes into it on deciding what the manpower my company needs. Okay? See, there are so many things which go on. One of the most important issues which we see for managers or for HR, it is that people leaving the company and going. These days, people are not like how our parents stayed. For 20 years, I think our parents stayed with the same company. But nobody stays these days because they want a salary jump, they want better prospects. You get saturated after a level, you feel you've learned everything, you can't contribute more, and you want to learn something new. So it's fair enough, you all go. But control your switches. Have at least 2 to 3 years tenure in a company and then go. Don't switch too often. Yes, so this is one of the challenges we are facing today is the attrition rate. There's a lot of attrition we see amongst this generation. Okay? So what happens is, there's a project which we did to understand how many years a person is going to stay with my organization when you come for an interview. I take your interview, I have lots of factors, there's some interview results and everything. Now, how can I understand? He will say, ma'am, I'll stay with your company, I'll stay for a very long, everyone will say. Nobody will say, I'll leave in 6 months, right? So now, how I really put some quantitative techniques in place, some statistics in place, and predict that whether he's going to stay with my company or not. That's done by predictive modeling, okay? In that, when you do predictive modeling, there are lots of factors you take into consideration. You see his last tenure with the companies, how many companies he worked with, how many years he was with each company, what was his performance in the tests, okay? Then there are many other stuff which we took into consideration while doing this. Could be there's something which will not predict your performance, but you are thinking that this will predict his performance. See, we as business people, we might think this is important to predict his performance. Ye test rakhenge. This also test we'll have. This test also we'll have. If he scores good in all these tests, then he will perform well. But there could be some tests which are not significant at all. Irrespective of what he scores in that test, he is going to be a good performer. Or irrespective of what he scores in the test, he will be a bad performer. So there are some things like that. There are, in predictive modeling, it's a huge process. It's not one-liner. हाँ, ये हो गया, ये इतना करेगा performance, no. Then you have to analyze whether the tests which I have taken into consideration, are they relevant? Are they significant to test his performance? When we did this, the test of language was insignificant. Irrespective, you scored high or you scored low, that does not affect your performance. So test of language came as insignificant. I wanted to show you all how we did it and everything, but then I felt you all might not really understand the slides if I show you all. So I thought roughly I will tell you all how it works. My only idea behind telling you this was pay attention to your stats subject, pay attention to your quantitative technique subjects. It's a very nice field. You enjoy it. Pay attention. When you know it, and everything is data. In today's world, it's everything data. Nobody can, sir, I think he's a nice person. I think we should take him. No. You give her data. You tell, yes, this person will stay with our company, this person will perform. It's all data. So stats will help you present the same things, but in a more dignified way, in a much more systematic way. People feel, yes, you're talking with some substance. So we had predicted it, and the insignificant was test of language. So when there's insignificant, we drop that. We remove that from the data. We take only the other sets. And we try to do the predictive modeling on that. Okay? So there's lots of stuff. Then you check, you have to do some hypothesis testing for it. You have to check the p-value, whether it's significant, non-significant. You do some global testing for it. You do individual testing of parameters for it. And then you understand which one is significant, which is not. Then you predict it, and yes, you need history data for it. कि जो बंदे मेरे साथ काम कर रहे थे 1 year back, how have they fared in their test and how have they done in their performance. With their history, I can predict the future. So history data is required. Okay? How they have done, has it actually affected or not, and how is it being done? This is very much useful in sales. I'm just telling about HR because we have done it in HR. Okay? It's useful a lot. Trust me, it's useful a lot. And it helps you a lot. If you can present and you can tell the management how this will help you in your recruitment, in controlling your attrition, how much tenure the person is going to stay for, numerous fields it can be applied. Okay? So quantitative techniques, I think you all will have one more semester when you all will deal with it. Take it seriously, solve as much examples as possible, okay? Check some live cases, or you'll have cases on Google, download them, check how to do it and everything, okay? Most of the colleges do not have R, they do not teach R, okay? So, in fact, I went for a course after my MBA in Mumbai itself. I did a postgraduate, I have to still complete it, I'm going for weekend classes. So, it's a postgraduate diploma in data science. So, wherein they teach us how to deal with R as a tool, okay? So, I only want to tell you all there's lots in it. It's not just, you know, employee aata hai, usko अच्छे से treat करो, motivate करो, all these are very important. But there's lots of other things also which has been involved. In sales, there are so many. There was one more which was done, there was one that was done by the college. There was one call center which was coming up. So they wanted to understand the number of complaints which will come from people. So they have taken the last year's data, last 2-3 years data into consideration. How many, say, computers were sold and how many customers ended up with complaints in the computer. Okay? So how many customers are going to actually call? Only when you have a complaint, you're going to call. So how many calls am I going to get in a day? Based on them, they decided how much of manpower is required in that call center. So this is the predicted number of complaints. These are the predicted number of calls in a day. How many people I'll need to handle these many calls in a day. Similarly, in the company, future prediction, now the financial year is ending in March. So we have to do a prediction for next year's sales. How much our sales are going to be for the next year. We predicted. For this particular sales, again to predict the sales, there are lots of parameters, like I told you. To judge the performance, there are these parameters taken into consideration. Similarly, to predict this sales also, there are lots of parameters which are taken into consideration. After you predict the sales, how much of manpower is required to achieve those sales? Right? It should not be that I recruit manpower and all are sitting empty. It should not happen that I recruit less manpower and they are overloaded. Right? So all these things are important and they are done in full-fledged, may not be in small companies, but in MNCs and all, they are done. Maybe the first job which you all join, you all might not come across all this. But you all will come across all this maybe in the later stages when you all go to a higher post or a big companies or anything. Okay? So this is very useful.